Hi, VencoreWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Wednesday, November 12th. A lot to talk about today. An Arctic frontal system will slide through the I-95 corridor. Before we talk about the weather situation, let's give a quick update on the comet. The landing spacecraft has separated now from the mothership Rosetta. It is on its 7-hour journey, and we ought to know by about 11 a.m. or so if the landing is successful. We have an article posted on the whole comet landing situation on our space events page on the weather website. Please take a look at that. Again, we'll know by about 11 a.m. or so. NASA is providing some live coverage of this comet landing. Well, let's now talk about the situation with respect to the Arctic outbreak. First of all, earlier in the week, the Arctic air plunged into the Rockies and into the northern plains. It has certainly lost some of its punch as it spread slowly to the south and east, now reaching the mid-Atlantic region, at least in terms of a surface cold frontal system. Out in the Rockies right now, this is an interesting map from the Penn State EWAL site that shows the temperature departure from normal for the last hour, and some unbelievable numbers out here in Montana and Wyoming, some almost 50 degrees below normal. Right now in Casper, Wyoming, they are 16 degrees below zero. That is nearly 50 degrees below normal. So this is nothing to sneeze out in that part of the country. A tremendously cold air mass for this time of the year. Again, losing its punch, though, as it moves to the east right now in the mid-Atlantic I-95 corridor, well above normal for this time of year, this time of day, some 20 degrees warmer than normal at this particular hour. Things will change, however. This initial surface frontal passage will set the wheels in motion for a colder pattern to develop by tonight and tomorrow, and that cold pattern will be sustained through much of the rest of November. Well, here is the latest surface map, and here is the leading edge of that Arctic air, and this frontal system will slide through the I-95 corridor over the next few hours without much fanfare. It will not cause a dramatic temperature drop in this area as it did, for example, out in Denver, Colorado. It will not have heavy precipitation associated with it. There will be kind of subtle changes later on today and especially tonight. First of all, the skies will actually tend to break up and clear, allowing for some sunshine this afternoon after the frontal system passes. The fog and drizzle and low clouds around this morning, really the last hurrah of this warm air mass. And again, the frontal system will tend to clear skies this afternoon, and the winds will pick up gradually this afternoon and tonight noticeably, and will be out of the northwest, and that will begin the process of ushering in colder air. There really will be a secondary push of cold air arriving on Thursday. Temperatures tomorrow should hold in the 40s up and down the I-95 corridor as compared with the 60s today and yesterday. A noticeable change, and the most important feature here is that this change to colder than normal will be rather sustained beginning tomorrow, lasting well into next week and perhaps even into Thanksgiving week. That Arctic high, a very strong high for this time of the year, nearly 1050 millibars, has pushed this Arctic plunge all the way down into Texas. Again, it's just tending to ooze here into the northeastern part of the country, but it will become quite noticeable overnight tonight and especially on the day Thursday. Here's a current infrared satellite imagery loop from the SSEC Wisconsin website. Really, it's kind of difficult now to pick out that surface cold front. A couple days ago, there was a very noticeable band of clouds associated with the frontal system, but here's the leading edge of that Arctic air right now. It's an Arctic frontal system crossing the central part of Pennsylvania, some low clouds behind it, a low pressure area pretty much well off the east coast now, but some low clouds and fog up and down the I-95 corridor, some drizzle mixed in as well from D.C. to Philly to New York City. All that will give way to increasing amounts of sunshine this afternoon and an increasing northwest wind following the passage of that surface Arctic frontal system. Well, let's take a look at a few computer forecast maps. This is using last night's 0Z NOAA GFS, Global Forecast System model. We're looking at tomorrow morning's forecast map at the surface. This particular type of map contains the pressures, the highs and lows, as well as precipitation here depicted by the greens and blues. This is for tomorrow morning. Notice, keep an eye on this blue line here. This is basically the freezing line in the lower parts of the atmosphere. By tomorrow morning, it's cutting across southeastern Pennsylvania, moving gradually to the south and east as wave after wave of colder air pushes into the I-95 corridor. Again, the initial frontal system will pass over the next few hours, and there really will be a secondary and even a third type of a push of the colder air over the next 24 to 36 hours or so. Let's now jump ahead 12 hours. And here's the forecast map for tomorrow evening, Thursday evening. By this time, notice that blue line now all the way down across the southern tip of New Jersey, south and east of D.C. So the colder air is gradually moving in during the day on Thursday. Again, we'll notice the drop in temperatures overnight tonight, and certainly tomorrow will be considerably colder than today. Also, an area of moisture associated with this second or even third push of colder air will move into the I-95 corridor tomorrow night. Snow showers are indeed a possibility up and down the I-95 corridor tomorrow night into early into early Friday morning, possibly mixed with rain at times, but certainly the first threat for some snow shower activity will occur tomorrow night into early Friday. And here's the forecast map for Friday morning. Indeed, a low pressure area develops in that area of moisture, and still some hanging back here. Could be an early snow shower or two up and down the I-95 corridor early Friday morning. So again, the first threat for some snow shower activity Thursday night into early Friday. By later Friday, this high takes over. There definitely will be some sunshine Friday afternoon. Sun is definitely looking likely over the weekend on both weekend days in the I-95 corridor, Saturday and Sunday. However, despite the sunshine, it'll be well below normal for this time of the year. Cold conditions, high temperatures generally in the 40s on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Well, one final map I'd like to show. This is the forecast map for Monday morning. We're jumping all the way ahead now to Monday morning, because indeed there's an interesting possibility for early next week. Looks like a lot of moisture will gather in the Gulf of Mexico this weekend and then head towards the northeast. Low pressure here in the southeastern U.S. depicted by last night's 0Z GFS model run. And notice this blue line here still cutting across the I-95 corridor. In other words, this area of moisture will be headed into some cold air, some well-entrenched cold air. Of course, it's marginally cold for this time of the year with respect to rain or snow, but indeed, we'll have to monitor this over the next several days. Possibility of a storm pulling out of the Gulf of Mexico early next week. We're talking about the Monday time frame, potentially with rain or snow possible in the Mid-Atlantic region. Obviously, this time of the year, odds favor rain in the I-95 corridor, but it'll be a close call. We'll have to monitor that. Could be some snow, especially interior, higher elevation locations of the Mid-Atlantic region. So a cold pattern sets up by tomorrow and sticks around for much of the rest of November. That's it for now. For VencoreWeather.com, I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.